Hello all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Simran. I just got a haircut this morning so I look like I'm from the 60s. Today I will be talking about my favorite thing, which is my planner. Alrighty. Let's open up my 2022 planner. I am typically an organized person. I like to keep my life organized. I'm usually the one out of my friends to make plans. Generally, I enjoy having something that has everything in one place. The planner I bought is the Moleskine weekly notebook diary / planner, where the week is on the left and a rule page is on the right. I think this is a great life planner, especially for people who are working. When I was in university, I used to use the Erin Condren academic planner, but I think if I were to go back, I would definitely use a Moleskine planner instead because it's compact, sleek, and professional looking. I also think it's a great planner to do semi-bullet journaling because it has space to customize your week, make it colorful or themed, and also add a few pages of your own sections that are typically in a bullet journal. For example, a plant watering guide or a bucket list or lists for TV shows, movies, or books. You can do that at the back where there are 8 pages of lined paper. But if you don't want to, it's also great because it doesn't create the same pressure that people usually feel when trying to keep up a full-on bullet journal. That pressure is usually why people end up giving up on a bullet journal just a few weeks into it. It's also better than having a regular bullet journal because I like to have all my weeks set up ahead of time so that if I need to write out something for a few weeks or even months ahead, I can have it written out and I don't have to worry about forgetting things. Some extra stationery I would recommend to have is a black 0.5 size pen, which I use Muji for, colored markers, which I use the Zebra Mildliner markers, a habit tracker, which you can create on Microsoft Word or a Pages file and print out, some washi tape, and a ruler. So just an overview of this planner. First off, it includes this banner thing which you can actually take off, and at the back of it is a calendar. It has like the first 6 months and at the back the second half of 2022, and you can sort of cut it and like make it into like a standing desk planner kind of thing. You see what I mean? Yeah. There's like little like symbols for you to like cut things out. So that's really handy to have, especially because I work in an office, so it's really nice to just have a calendar on the side. So this is my 2020 to 2021 planner. Throughout this video, I will be referring back to my 2020-21 planner just because it's easier to see how things look when it's really set up. On the first page, it shows who this planner belongs to, and then it has, oh my god, it has like personal details, which I don't really like to fill out, and then it has a year overview. I honestly like using this side or even like this page like right at the front to write out my annual goals. And then it has the overview for the year. Then it has a monthly overview. Only thing I don't like about this planner is that it has all the months all together rather than being integrated throughout the planner at the start of each month. So it's a bit annoying to have to keep going back to the front to look at your month, but I still like the planner overall. So what I really like about this planner is it's very like old-timey. I really like antique things. I even have like a film camera. I'm so basic, I know. It has some very typical planner features such as global holidays over here, time zones and measurements and conversions, international sizes on this side, styling codes, and it even has a travel planning section, but let's be honest, who's traveling during COVID? There's then like an empty section called My Extraordinary Moments This Year and My Blank Page. I sort of just put random notes in these sections that I feel like I would want to reread later on, such as cover letter tips. When I was like healing from my breakup, I wrote down a few reminders that I would keep referring back to like, you know, help me out. I wrote some general thoughts, some affirmations, etc. And what I like to do is like at the back of the planner is this pocket with some Moleskine stickers. And what I like to do to put pieces of scrap paper so that if I ever have anything that I need to write down and like put it in that blank page section, I can. I have like just scrap paper paper at the back. And then there's a section called like my inspiring journeys, but I don't really know what it's for, so I just sort of use it as an extension of like blank pages for me to write things out in. Then it has a ruler and then another blank page. In the 2022 planner, it doesn't have like this timetable section, but I think in the academic planner setup, so for example, if the planner starts in July, then it has like a section for timetables. The timetable section would be really useful for students, but the annual planner, so the planner that starts in January, it doesn't have a timetable, because I'm assuming that it's made for people who are working rather than people who need to start their planner around the start of the school year. And then finally we get into the meat of the planner, where you have the weekly layout on the left and then the ruled line page on the right. So let's set up the planner. So at the start of the year, everyone likes to make some New Year's resolutions. It's really great for you to write your goals for 2022 in one of the blank pages at the start of the planner. So over here, I've written down my goals for the year. I have been reflecting and writing out my goals for the following year since about 2014, just in my Apple Notes app, by writing out all the negative and the positive things that happened to me in the past year, and then writing out a few goals on what I would like to change or achieve in the next year. In the monthly section, you can write out your goals for the month in the notes. For example, in the monthly section, I wrote out all my goals over here that refer back to my 2022 goals. So that way you're always working on your annual goals. In the section, I also like to write out important deadlines for work or school. So you have all the important stuff laid out for the month and you can easily refer back to it. For the weekly section, I set up my planner in a specific layout that I developed, where it was the theme at the top, the events and meetings, appointments, whatever, on the right side of the weekly layout. And then my daily to-do list on the left side, my goals at the top of line page, my gratitude on the right side, my quotes from books I was reading on the left, and then my habits tracker at the bottom. So let me explain this real quick. Almost every week, I would draw out the theme in the header of the week, for which I would get my inspiration from Pinterest. I sort of divided it into my events and my appointments and whatever on this side. And I would also input it in my iPhone calendar, which is synced with my laptop iCal, so that I get notifications for things on my phone. I like to use 3 highlighters according to the theme of the week. 1 color for work meetings and just work-related events. So the 2nd color for social things, and then the 3rd color for personal appointments. But if you want to use colors that are consistent throughout the planner, such as pink for appointments, blue for social things, and green for work things, that's also a good way to do it. Also, this planner is great because sometimes I have a few weeks where I don't really feel like doing anything special with my planner. You can just do the basics like your goals, your to-do lists, and your habits, like I did in these couple weeks, and I just leave like a basic color scheme for it, and that's it. Also, if you don't feel like drawing, a good way to like create a theme each week is just by having stickers. I really didn't feel like anything this week, so I just put a fall sticker and made the theme orange, red, and green. Orange, red, and yellow, not green. Fall is not green. And then on this side, I would write out my daily to-do list according to the goals and errands I had to do for the week. By referring back to my monthly goals, one thing I really want to emphasize is that it's extremely important to have goals you set for yourself, because having manageable annual goals, which can then be divided into monthly goals, which then is divided into weekly goals, and then daily goals, means that every single day you're working on achieving your goals for that year. And by the end of the year, you will see some real change in your life. It's just that simple. The next thing I include is daily gratitude journaling, which helps me stay appreciative and positive. I felt like I wanted to write out quotes from the books I was reading, since I had a goal to read at least 1 book a month. The final aspect of my weekly layout includes my habit tracker. So with habits, I think it's important that you don't overwhelm yourself with trying to track too many habits. If you're just starting off with habit tracking, it's best to just start off with maybe 3 habits. So for example, like daily exercise, daily journaling, and reading 10 minutes per day. It's more manageable that way. As you start to integrate those habits into your life and feel comfortable with them, you can add perhaps 2 more habits to track. And with each habit, it's also important not to start off by aiming too high. If you want to start exercising or going to the gym and think that the only way to get results is by following someone else's exercise routine and going to the gym for 1.5 hours. That's mad. Take a step back and don't do that. Literally just start with like 5 minutes of exercise per day at home, such as just 3 ab exercises, 10 reps each, 3 sets each for each exercise. And then maybe next week you can increase it to about 10 minutes of exercise per day, then increase it to 15 minutes the following week until maybe you reach 30 minutes per day. And at that point, you can reduce it to about 4 to 5 times a week, 30 minutes each time. So building a habit means literally building it by adding just 1 more exercise or 5 more pages of reading or 5 more minutes each time, which will make it way more effective and make it last in the long term. And in building habits, it's also important that you keep at a habit for about 21 days at least. That's the magic number for ensuring that habits stick. I also love keeping to my habits and my daily routines because I find that habits make your mood, and your mood is a lens through which you live your life. If you're always grumpy because you're not getting your 8 hours of sleep per night or not fitting time in for self-care, you're going to be in a pretty negative and irritable frame of mind, which is just going to further make you resent your life. So that's why I stick to my habits so intensely. All the stuff I mentioned about habits, I learned mostly through James Clear's book, Atomic Habits. It's a very popular book, but I honestly found so many useful things. So the daily habits I currently track are waking up by 8 a.m., drinking 8 glasses of water, meditating, journaling, reading, practicing Spanish and Duolingo, recording 1 second of my day, exercising, gratitude, mood tracking, flossing, taking my medications, and drinking chamomile tea at the end of the day. I used to track habits such as jade rolling, planning the next day, meeting or calling a friend, doing my skincare routine, making my bed, working on my personal statement for grad school applications, watering my plants. But I stopped tracking them because some of them became so integrated into my routine that I didn't feel the need to track it anymore, such as my skincare routine, which I do even when I come back home after a big night out. I remember the night I fractured my ankle, I literally came back home and I just did my skincare routine while in pain. Or it became irrelevant. So for example, grad school applications I finished, or watering my plants, which I was bad at and mostly just killed all my plants. So yeah, like that is all that I have for you today. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Bye!